Alright, welcome to my blind challenge run of Ace Combat 7, meaning that this is my first ever playthrough of the game, but with the twist that I'm going to immediately force myself into the deep end, or more appropriate I think, doing a nosedive straight into the side of a mountain. I'm going to see how far I can get in this game, having zero experience with it, playing it not only on hard mode, but allowing myself to only use machine guns. No missiles or bombs or special weapons allowed, machine guns only. Now the thing is that as far as I understand, it is at least possible to do machine guns only, because there should be an in-game achievement and bonus for going through the campaign with that restriction. However, that does not mean that it is feasible on hard difficulty for a complete beginner. So that means that I don't even know what to expect. It might turn out to be relatively easy or practically impossible, at least without massive experience. Meaning that I will have to throw in the towel after only a few missions. I don't know. That's the fun of doing a blind challenge run. You have no idea what to expect. So therefore I do not go into this with the expectation that I will succeed. It's only about trying my best to get as far as possible. Which can range from not far at all to all the way to the end. We will just have to see. Now, because this is a challenge run and because I want to keep these videos short and to the point, and because of copyright issues, I'm not including the cutscenes, so I will immediately skip to the start of the mission. Alright, let's begin.
Radar site's still silent. Scramble. Get those birds in the sky. We're sitting ducks. What's happening? Bombers incoming. Don't know how many.
Let's clear that runway. We don't got all day here.
Mage Squadron, head to runway. Column Squadron, take off. Link to Skykeeper. Hurry, Mage Squadron.
Alright, there we go. This looks good. This looks exciting. Just revving up that engine. Just listen to that howling roar. The metal being all on attention. Basically, it's begging you to touch and go. Alright, let's ride into the danger zone. Okay, while I'm getting used to the controls, trying out what each button does, let's first talk about what I so far understand about how the game works. First of all, I am practically new to the entire Ace Combat franchise. Although not technically true, as I did play Ace Combat 4 back in 2001. But that's quite a long time back. What I remember at least, and what is probably going to be very important, is that in each mission there are necessary targets and optional targets. So given that it seems to me that I have limited amount of bullets for each mission, I guess I should purely focus on attacking targets that absolutely have to be destroyed in order to finish the mission. In fact, that is definitely something that worries me, having limited ammo. I kind of expected that the machine gun, being your last resort weapon, would have infinite ammo. So that's a lot of extra pressure, not wasting ammo. Especially because precise aiming is not exactly my specialty. And doing it while steering a plane, that for me at least feels very counterintuitive. I kinda predict some major difficulties there. And on top of that, given that machine gun fire doesn't home in on your target like missiles do, that requires even more precision. And what's even worse, because you, well, at least more or less, need to keep firing in a sort of straight line behind your target, you are kind of a sitting duck for other enemies. You can't just fire your missile after locking on and immediately steer away and let the homing system of the missile take care of the rest. And my assumption is that, especially on hard mode, you won't have that much room for error when it comes to the amount of damage you can take. So, well, to put it bluntly, what the hell did I get myself into?
It's still a leash, though.
Okay, well here's lesson number 1 I guess. Just because an enemy is visually in range, that doesn't mean you can actually hit it. It would seem to me that the lock-on system has to switch to red in order for enemies to be in attack range. So that seems to be around 1600 meters, give or take. Well, anyway, that was my first downed enemy, so hi, I'm like halfway done already. Yeah, anyway. Well, at least, although not intuitive and a little bit stiff, the controls are not overly complicated. You can steer slightly to the left and right without turning the plane with L1 and R1, so that can help a lot when aiming. And the other thing that seems quite obvious to me at least is the importance of using the brake or whatever you call it on a plane when turning in order to turn sharply. You know, like using your handbrake in a racing game in order to get quickly through a turn. Which is, by the way, a genre of games I absolutely suck at. And also, by the way, I can't say I really know of any strategy when it comes to evading enemy missiles, other than just erratic movement or flying vertically in a circle, or perhaps just horizontally for all I know. Well, then again, if a certain hare named Peppy is to be believed, the best method should be to do a barrel roll. If I knew exactly how to perform one, that is. Because apparently that wasn't actually what a barrel roll is supposed to be. Well, anyway, let's try to take down the second target. Whoops, overshot it.
I'm glued to this one.
You're being locked onto.
Oh, there we have a missile on my tail. Well, let's just do it looping, I guess.
Box 2! Box 2!
Oh, whoops, I almost crashed into him. Okay, prediction. At some point in this playthrough, and probably multiple times in this playthrough, I'm just going to fly straight into an enemy. And I don't think kamikaze is a very successful strategy in this game.
Target confirmed down. Looking good, Mage 2. Mage 2, target's in range. Pair of bombers.
Trigger, stay calm. You got this.
I know the kid showed some promise, but let's remember, he's still barely gotten his feet wet.
The thing about machine gun fire is, of course, that it is kind of your weakest attack. But from what I understand, there are certain upgrades you can buy in this game. So hopefully there are also machine gun upgrades. Infinite or at least more ammo would be a very welcome upgrade. But just a more powerful gun would already be an improvement. I don't know yet if other planes have different guns or more ammo or faster firing rate or what have you. But I guess we just have to wait and see.
You'll knock him out with your special weapon. Use it when you need to. Mage 2, target down.
We've done enough damage to the harbor, the carrier, and enemy fleet. Drop payload on installations and return to base.
Enemy bomber down. Nice going, Mage 2.
Not too shabby, Mage 2. You still got a long way to go, kid. I'll give you some pointers back at base if you can make it in one piece.
Well, so far things are going at least rather well, but I suppose this is basically a training mission.
It's a bomber and an escort.
Oh, there, Trigger, settle down.
Mage 2, maintain your element with Mage 1. Do not break off.
Mage 1, make sure he doesn't do anything stupid.
Wilco. Golem 2, let's maintain element.
Copy that, Commander. I've got your 6 covered, sir.
Radio.
Golem, Mage, 2 new enemy groups. Mage 2, locked.
This is HQ. Attention all combat groups. Are there any drones? Verify.
Drones? Are you kidding me right now? Jesus, this is the kind of shit that really chaps my ass. UAVs. I can't tell them apart.
Target in gun range. Target is down.
Attaboy, Trigger.
Oh, by the way, I expect that it will become necessary to either speed up the footage once in a while, or completely cut out sections in which nothing is happening, because it's quite likely that large parts of the missions consist of you just Tom cruising through the air looking for targets to take down. But for now I will just keep everything in. Moreover, they don't call them dogfights for nothing. A large part of aerial combat is circling around each other, chasing each other's tails. However, one thing that makes this kind of combat very interesting though, is that it is truly three-dimensional, you can move in any direction and approach the enemy in any direction. And of course, they can attack you from any direction as well. And when it comes to targets on the ground, contrary to those, you are forced to always keep moving. Well, unless you can fly in something like a Harrier, I suppose. But you know what I mean.
Locked.
Don't let them destroy the harbor. Where the hell are our fighters? The harbor's under heavy fire.
Mage 2's bandit confirmed down.
They can burn with their whole payload. Hesitating for a split second could be the difference between life and death. Stay sharp, think fast.
Roger that.
I know this is just the first mission, but the limited ammo really has me worried. I haven't done that much yet. I basically went through about a third of my ammunition already. So I wonder if doing longer missions you can reload in some way, like, I don't know, landing back at the airport and get your weapons restocked. I have no idea if that's even a thing in this game. But what I would have preferred to do is basically just hold down the fire button when near an enemy and solely focus on getting the target in my crosshairs while firing. But having to preserve ammo? Yeah, this is going to be rough, I think. At least it does indeed seem to be the case that the blue enemies are optional and red enemies are necessary targets. So that is something at least.
I'm glued to this one. Fox 2. Mage 2, bandit on your 6.
Bandit in my sights. Breaking to escape mark.
Enemy bomber destroyed.
Missile, evade! I'm in his blind spot. He's mine.
Locked on target.
Bandit in my sights. Fox 2.
Enemies on me.
One remaining.
Mage 2, keep your focus. You got this.
On my target's tail.
To Gollum and Mage. Job well done. All bombers are down. Our radar shows no sign of...
Okay, I don't see any more red targets. Alright then, it says mission complete. I assume I will now have to land back at the base, if I can find where it is, or if I get a waypoint or something.
Don't try to be a hero. I want you to make it back in one piece, you hear?
Yeah, I gotta side with the boss man on this.
Gollum Squadron, this is HQ. Did you confirm any drones?
What's the deal with all the drones?
Gollum 1, return to base and report for debriefing.
Seawater at Gunther Bay. I am Princess Rosa Cosette Delise of the Kingdom of Erusia. Citizens of Erusia.
Not quite sure what that was all about, but the airport should be over here. Oh, it's not even necessary. Well, that's good actually. We all know from Top Gun that landing the plane is almost impossible. Well, the NES game I mean, not the movie.
We are currently assessing the damage to the base. We have confirmed that the aircraft carrier Albatross was sunk. we know the attacking bogies were from Erusia. International Union peacekeeping force bases all over the Yusian continent were attacked in the same way. The damage is severe. Many wars are lost by failing to recover from the opening blows. That means successfully retaliating was very important. You may have turned the tides of battle here. You have our thanks.
Alright, mission complete. Okay, that went alright, I think. I see you actually get a bonus for doing machine gun only, so that is at least beneficial. I also didn't take any damage yet, but I suppose I shouldn't get too overconfident, because my guess is that this was just nothing more than a training mission, and that the difficulty will increase significantly later on. But we'll just have to wait and see. For now at least, that's the end of the first episode. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, check out my other videos, and of course, stay tuned for the next episode.